And hopefully
you don't
someone finds
float
you.
up to the surface actually. If
Oh,
you're
you don't?
weights. No, you don't.
Oh, so if you lose your breath underneath water,
You die.
You die. Fantastic. That's good to know.
Thanks
for telling me that now.
That's unless if you know that you've got a safety diver with you.
With over 7,600 islands, the Philippines has a lot of coastline that has yet to be discovered. We loaded up in the early morning, not really knowing where we were going, but with reefs and waves on our minds.
Day 3 on the road, still in Borongan. We're about to take a 3-hour drive up north. We've got a whole new cast of characters with us.
Joining us on this trip were Jake and Nico, both freedivers and surfers from Tacloban, surf guide Kayut from Samar, Abdel, our surf videographer, and his son, and finally Mon, Brian, and myself, rounding up the video team. Abdel knew of a place that was only accessible by boat, so we drove to a pier, talked to some boatmen, and loaded up all our gear. A short 40-minute ride away, we found a reef that would be promising for both some surf and some diving. Nico and I went off to see if we could catch some fish for our dinner. Out of nowhere, a fellow diver who swam all the way from a neighboring island, showing off his loot of the day, passed us. Though the fish were small, they would suffice for their dinner. This gave us some hope that maybe we would be able to catch something as well. I really tried my best to keep up with Nico, but I soon realized I just didn't have the lung capacity that he has trained so hard to gain. Unfortunately, after a few hours in the water, we just called it a day.
Super important. Each time you're keeping active, whether you're out here in a beautiful beach like we are or back in the city, keep fueled, keep energized with the right type of food. I was super pumped when Walter Bread said that they wanted to come on this journey with us here in beautiful Samar because it's the perfect companion to have, because you just need to make sure that, you know, when your level of activity rises, your energy intake has to rise as well. And this right here is the sugar-free variant with just some canned tuna. If you can see around us, the necessities are quite scarce. So this is kind of like the perfect snack. Just what I needed.
The waves by the reef weren't working as good as we thought they would, so we drove a further 3 hours on the coast until we chanced upon this paradise. A long stretch of deserted white sand, hugging a cove filled with turquoise blue water, with no one else in sight.
So we drove for a total of 4 hours and we found our own private beach. It looks amazing, white sand, surf on the left, surf on the right, there's a reef break over there. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. Let me show you our digs for tonight. So, little kubo here, just to chill and relax. We've got our resident local surfer here. How's the waves? They're okay?
It's crazy.
This is where we'll be sleeping tonight. It's got a little kitchenette happening. You got a couple beds here. Little dining table, but we're also gonna be cooking later upstairs, so I'll show you that. But let's just go upstairs first. We'll try to keep the sand off here, but there's about 2 mattresses up here as well with a fan. This looks really comfy, actually. Going back down, I'll introduce you to the people who are helping us set up the food. This is Ate Eileen?
Yes.
Ate Eileen.
I'm not prepared.
She's not ready. That's your sister. What's your name, po? Antonia. So this is the kitchen. So it's cooking some rice, I'm guessing. Some rice and some coals. Got a little dining hall over here. This is Kuya Judar. Nice to meet you. Right? This is our little hall of dining. Come hither. Got a token karaoke machine. You're not in the Philippines if you don't have karaoke. And that's about it. We have our own volleyball court. And then the best part about all of this is this crazy view. Imagine tomorrow morning, the sunrise is gonna be coming up from right there, and we're only staying one night. Like, I feel like I could stay a week here. This is how real men shower.
In public.
In public. You guys definitely need to hit that. Oh, nice and cold. That was actually really nice.
Barbecue Plaza.
Padimir, sige nga. Yung may
Dapat ito ako makakain, Jake. Finish lang.
I was trying to keep my breath underwater, right?
Yeah, I was watching you earlier, yeah.
Like, what's the #1 tip? Because there's a natural body instinct to kind of start convulsing and fighting it, right? And I'm sure that even happens
We're taught
to
to
you.
ignore that.
So you completely ignore it.
I completely ignore it.
And then when do you know this is the line and I shouldn't be passing this?
I don't know, when you pass out? I'm just kidding.
You just float up to the surface and
You
hopefully
don't
someone
float
finds you.
up to the surface, actually. If
Oh, you
you're
don't?
wearing weights. No, you don't.
Oh, so if you lose your breath underneath water,
You die.
You die. Fantastic. That's good to know.
That's-
Thanks for telling me that now.
That's unless if, you know, you've got a safety diver with you.
We woke up bright and early the next day. The water was as clear as it would get in the morning sun, and the waves were coming in heavy. Excitedly, we all rushed out into the water to make sure we didn't miss a moment. Nico and Jake suited up before going off to explore the reef and sandy bottom.
Smile more when you come back. Smile more when I see you. Smile more when the sun shines bright. Believe me, I need you. Smile more when you blow me up. Smile more when I see your face. Smile more when I feel love. Smile less when I need to let go. Let go. Smile less when I let go. But you know I won't fall. Smile more when I see you. Smile less when I miss you. No, I don't wanna be left alone.
This is exactly how I remember traveling in the Philippines as a kid, taking really long drives to places that are barely touched by kind of like development and things like that, and eventually get to some place that's really remote and you're in an idyllic paradise just with the locals, cooking your own food, staying in a hut such as this. So my tip to you, there are tons of places like this in the Philippines. Grab a car and start your own adventure. And how do you find places like this? Communicate with people. And I think that's the most important message here is get your information from the locals and you will find some beautiful gems. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Thanks for watching Going Coastal. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you want to watch more, just click here or here for more episodes. Click my head and subscribe. I'm waiting.